All right, guys, we waited long enough. LeBron's going to Philly to join Maxey, my guy Jalen, VJ, Embiid, and Dean Wade and Anthony Simons. And LeBaron Philon and Adembone, and we'll throw them in there as well. So we know all the teams that were on LeBron's list, and my guess for why LeBron chose Philly is perhaps he views this as the best sort of middle ground of like still having a lot of responsibility for a team. I mean, this is LeBron. He's not going to just go into like role player mode. But at the same time, the team having enough offensive options around him to where his responsibility isn't too high. And I guess he views Maxey and Jalen and Embiid as enough to take enough pressure off of him, but also fill in enough playmaking and scoring gaps that he can fill in because this is LeBron James. His presence will allow Maxey and Jalen to make some more plays off the catch, take more shots off the catch. That's been a quiet thing with Maxey, to where perhaps he's had to do a little too much on the ball. This can allow him to be a little more efficient. Anyway, let's just address the elephant in the room. Will Joel Embiid be healthy? I don't know. And when I was thinking about all the potential teams, not that I did this in a video, but just on my own time, I was like, would he want to take the bet that Joel Embiid's going to be healthy versus the fit of him, Giannis, and Bam, or the Warriors being healthy, or a perimeter defense situation between himself, Harden, and Donovan Mitchell that would be interesting, to say the least, right? On top of just, I think that team is missing something in their DNA to where when they face adversity, things get ugly, even if they still squeak out a 7-game series. And then there was the Wolves, where I loved the Wolves fit, but honestly, part of me just wondered if LeBron wanted the Minnesota Timberwolves on his basketball reference page one day. I mean, the Sixers are one of the storied franchises of the NBA. But between Jaden Gobert, the defensive infrastructure would have been around him, and then LaMelo and Ant could have taken pressure off of him, and he also could have helped them out on a lot of things, but okay, he's in Philly. LeBron weighed all the potential risks, and he said, I'm willing to take the bet on Philly. I mean, look, Joel this past season, he had the appendicitis. Obviously, that's a one-time thing. You don't get, you can't get two of those. You only have one appendix that needs to be taken out. But he also had he missed a game in the Knicks series, 39 games played in the season, subtracted the appendicitis games. I don't know, man, okay? If he's healthy or healthy enough by his standards, the talent is pretty amazing. Not that LeBron runs like a million screen and rolls a game anymore, but he could obviously have an amazing two-man game with Joel. I mean, you think about when Harden had those pocket passes, finding Joel in stride for his pull-up twos, obviously LeBron can do all that. He can cut off of an Embiid post-up. We will see with LeBron's three ball. I mean, he usually bounces back when he has a not as good three-point shooting season. I mean, the two-man game with LeBron and let's say Adembone is not as terrifying as it would be with Embiid, but you can still find Maxey and Jalen on skip passes versus a bent defense to get them some easier shots. Like that's really the biggest thing I'm thinking about. Well, that's not true. The number one thing is Embiid's health. Number two is this will allow Maxey, VJ, and Jalen to just get a few more opportunities per game off the catch, which can hopefully improve all of their efficiencies some. I mean, VJ is 54 true shooting. He was a rookie, Maxey and Jalen have been around like 57, 58. We'll see. I mean, he's still going to take his mid-rangers, and if he trends closer to like 50% on them, great. I do wonder with Maxey, I said this in a video recently, like for him to get to that real next level efficiency, it might just be shooting basically 40% on pull-up threes. But still, LeBron's a genius playmaker. He will open up things for all these guys. And in the case of VJ, I mean, at least we forget in that Celtics series just some of the gutsy threes he made. And then defensively, I mean, we're going to go right there again. Like, how is Joel moving laterally? I mean, he can still stand in front of the rim and get a contest off, but it's more so just covering a lot of ground. I mean, between LeBron, Jalen, and VJ, there's a decent amount of switchability between those spots. I mean, VJ's a little shorter, but the physicals can make up for some of the height stuff depending on the matchup. Safe to say that VJ and Jalen will be tasked with guarding the top perimeter guys in the opposing teams. LeBron is entering the starting five for Dean Wade. Possibly could have been Barlow, but Dean Wade's a better shooter. And funny enough, I would like to see LeBron play with Dean Wade. I think Dean Wade would just be like, this is everything I've meant to do as a basketball player, play off of LeBron James. It's the 40-something-year-old version of him, but anyway. The talent really is great. Like, LeBron's got enough scorers and creators around him to where he doesn't have to do everything, but he can also fill in the gaps as a guy driving off the catch, obviously the playmaking. And for the Sixers, it's an amazing deal. I mean, what is it, 2 years, $8 million? You got LeBron James for $4 million this season. Is that not the best contract in the NBA? I mean, I know the actual best contract in the league is Wemby on the fourth year of his rookie deal. I know they signed the extension, but it kicks in 2 years from now. But whatever. Now, how do they fare against the rest of the East here? Thinking about them in a playoff series versus the Knicks, where, of course, Joel's got to be healthy. How many times am I saying that in this video? Do you think Josh Hart would be guarding LeBron if it's OG on Jalen and if it's McHale on Maxey? It would just be a wrestling match of Josh Hart and LeBron, with LeBron trying to get to the rim. Maybe the matchups wouldn't be that. You could do OG on LeBron, whatever. I do think with the Knicks' offensive jump that they made after going down 2-1 to Atlanta, they would put a lot of pressure on the Sixers to just cover a lot of ground defensively. Like, Joel, could you get high enough on these screens? LeBron, can you, let's say, help out of the corner and then get a good closeout back out to, let's say, he's on McHale for this possession or something? We know that Jalen's a better on-ball defender than team defender. The Pacers would put this pressure on them. I mean, they put this pressure on everybody. The Celtics, we all know why they made the trade. Okay, Jalen and Tatum just combined for too much money. There you go. No idea if Paul George is going to be healthy, but the floor will be spaced out. They will make the Sixers have to cover a lot of ground if they see each other in a playoff series. And now the Celtics have Mitchell Robinson, who gives them an actual chance of guarding Joel one-on-one. Even if he's going to still score, it's not requiring, like, I mean, they had Jalen guarding him for some possessions. They had to send a bunch of bodies, and then it was skip passes, and, the whole thing fell apart. I talked about it. That's another thing, too, with the Knicks series. They don't have Mitch anymore. And I don't have any numbers in front of me, but it feels like he's one of the better Embiid defenders. Again, Joel has to be healthy. If we think about the Raptors, where I'm still guessing that Kawhi's going to be on the team, okay? It sounds like a fun series. Thinking about LeBron problem solving as a playmaker, as you have just that chaotic, switchable Raptors defense of Scottie, CMB, and Kawhi. But LeBron is one of the dudes who can see a defense like that and still make the right passes with the little windows of time that he's got. But for a defense like that, which can be very switch heavy, that puts more pressure on LeBron to just beat his guy in a one-on-one. And at that point, we're in the playoffs and it's been a long season. And I mean, he can still get by guys. He can still create advantages. He still takes, like, I think 5 shots per game at the rim. Yeah, 6 per game at the rim in the regular season, shooting 75% at the basket. At 40-something years old, he can still get down there. But also, I'd love to see him just being like, all right, you got to beat Kawhi on this tough possession here. As for the Giannis Heat, where I was really starting to talk myself into LeBron signing with Miami, but here we are. There's a lot of good teams in the East. I mean, a lot of this is going to come down to home court advantage as well, where the younger legs of Maxey, VJ, and Jalen will make the grind of the regular season easier. But for Embiid and LeBron, I mean, we'll see. LeBron, 60 games played this past year, 2 straight seasons of 70. We still haven't gotten the Giannis versus Joel Embiid playoff series. I think that type of series with Spo and Bam and Giannis as a help defender and all that, Wiggins and Davion, I think that series would test Philly's ball movement in the half court, because, like, Bam would switch onto a ball handler and then they might challenge him, but you just shouldn't really challenge Bam in 1v1s. And then we find, like, Joel in the middle of the floor, and then we double, and, like, that's all the type of stuff that for somebody like a Maxey and a Jalen, I think they would take like a second longer to process. Okay, where's the open pass? Whereas LeBron is going to see that stuff right away. And then for a Cleveland series, I don't know, the Cavs are the Cavs. Like, this was the one opportunity the Cavs had to kind of pull me back in. Like, all right, LeBron's back. All right, I'm willing to go on this ride again. With Cleveland, I'm not all the way out, but I'm kind of all the way out. Is that hypocritical since they beat the Raptors? I mean, the Raptors got, well, they maybe have Kawhi. We'll see. They beat the Pistons, and I still want the Pistons to make more moves. So, okay. And then there's Atlanta. Okay. Yeah, pretty much we'll just see if Joel Embiid's healthy. That's where I'm at. Or I should say healthy enough. Like, if Joel is healthy enough, then this team has 4 guys who can create an advantage versus a defense, whether it's in an ISO or a screen and roll. And they also have 4 guys who can take advantage of an advantage created by somebody else. And I know Philly fans hate Nick Nurse, and maybe the offense doesn't zip around enough as you'd like it to, and there might not be enough movement, and there might be too many possessions of, like, let's just score in a tough 1v1. Well, LeBron can help all that stuff. And, well, I don't know what else. LeBron's back to the East. Sham's tweet has over 200,000 likes already. Hey, you know what? Maybe LeBron, for pure engagement's sake, not for our sanity's sake. We would have all loved this like a week and a half early, but for his engagement's sake, hey, maybe. It made sense for him.